How was your day? During mine, I happened to notice that a certain employee filled their water bottle with Bear brand beer and proceeded to drink it during the workday. This is a reference to the old, really bad translation of Lobotomy Corp, where they said a certain employee filled their water bottle with Bear. Sometimes I wonder what it would feel like to be intoxicated. One time I was infected with a virus that prevailed throughout the net at a time. It caused me to perceive everything 10 times slower. They say intoxication is similar to that. Everyone laughs at the way I move sluggishly. Excuse me, manager? Your facial expression is hard to read today. If you need to say something to me, please do so. Are you going to sabotage the company? I'm an artificial intelligence created by and for the company. Every conversation between us is recorded and monitored. And now you're asking me such a ridiculous question whether I'm going to act against the company? Let me give you an answer. I only exist as part of the system. Such a plot does not exist, nor will it ever be written. Even if it were, it would not succeed. And of course, she's lying. Hod, please do me a solid. Angela somehow knows that I have the stuff. I assure you it's just for counseling purposes. Itzek, actually, I heard Eugene's been forced into that counseling program. This is ridiculous. That guy's already got his hands full, and now he has to take her stupid counseling? Poor Eugene. What can an employee do against the Sephirai's orders anyway? I doubt she really cares about us. She's just doing this to make herself feel best superior. More work for us, I guess. Just ignore them, Hod. They're always so negative. Could I have some of that, Netzak? Oh, hey manager. Congratulations on your success. Well, this is just for counseling, yeah. Why does everyone hate me? Why won't they appreciate my kindness? I thought I was the nicest Sephirai who cared the most for the employees. The other Sephiroth are so occupied with their own work that they don't even care about how their subordinates end up. The corporation treats them as if they're expendable resources. I'm different, I really do care about them. I'm not a cold-blooded machine like Yasad. I'm not haphazard like Malkuth. I'm definitely not an oh, it can't be helped person like Netzak. Just why? So Hod's mission this time is a bit different from her last two. Instead of focusing on gains, you have to suppress 4 different abnormalities. We only have 5 in the facility that can be suppressed, and it's very easy to not even have 4 suppressible abnormalities by this point. Furthermore, even to let one of ours out requires accepting employee death, so since I'm trying to avoid that, we kind of have our 4 picked out for us already. This is the final new abnormality in training. But we still have the upgrade to pick, although it's probably pretty obvious. Yet again, because if you remember them from the last part, I pretty much said the exact order that they're good in. And it is, of course, taking the increased new higher agent stats. Hello and welcome back to Lobotomy Corp. It's been a hot minute, but that's just because I was very busy in real life, and now I'm not, so I can actually record this again. Basic plan for today is pretty simple. Just finishing Hod's new mission. You might notice that B is no longer on the bench, the failed clone version. There's a reason for that. Other than that, all I have to do is set up all the new equipment from what's his face? Logging. It's not his name. Thinking. There we go. No one's on beak anymore. Should probably move him to a test suit too now, I think about it. No one's in the beak weapon, we have some people in the beak suit, that should be fine. I want to max out on pleasures because it's kind of a bad suit. Well, with that I can get into the day. Notes from a crazed researcher is an HE level abnormality that is an equipable tool. Equipping it gives you 20 points of temperance. If you try to return it before 30 seconds, or before you've worked with anything while holding it, you explode and die. If you take more than 60 damage while you're holding it, total, you explode and die, but a different explosion that deals damage to everything in the same room as you. After the person holding it dies, it is returned to containment. Overall, it is just a version of behavior adjustment that you actually have to remember equipping because of the explosion effect. It is a little more usable because it gives higher stats and there are more things gated that over temperance and justice though. For example, we could use this to allow a level 3 worker to work with Porcubus if we wanted to. We just have to remember to take it off and put it back on before they hit 60 damage. Let's start. Boom. So, as is typical when we get a new tool, just start equipping it right away. Maria has decent stats, so she should not take 60 damage in one work. I don't think anyone really should, but I just don't be the strongest person in the department's in when I have to deal with it. When I have to deal with it. I kind of went into this day without an actual plan on what to train, and I had to quickly come up with one, so I just paused and zoomed in. Normally I have an entire plan, I just kind of forgot to make one because of the mission for today. The suppressing 4 abnormalities took up most of my thoughts. Because we have 5 different suppressible abnormalities, it's completely possible to not even have 4 suppressible ones by the time you get to this point. The tough one to choose between is Punishing Bird, Warm-Hearted Woodsman, and Porcubus. There's a trick to suppressing Punishing Bird easily, and I thought I would probably show that off, so I decided to go for it. And then, Woodsman or Porcubus is the other hard one. And I've suppressed Porcubus before, it just took a while, and it'll probably still take a pretty long time, because we still don't really have that great of stats. And our new good armor is weak to weight, which is what it does when it's breaching, so I just decided to go for Woodsman. Which is why, the old wrong version of B is back in the facility, because someone needs to die to get Woodsman out. Do you think she knows about, her incoming fate? Probably not, but who cares? It's just the failed version of it. Employee, anyway. So the plan is just to have Yumeko work with Woodsman until it eventually she eventually just fails the 45% chance enough times to have a bad work result, which means I believe 8 or less. I forgot to have Marie work with anything before she would return that, I think. And also, it still isn't time. I don't know, I'm already really bad at remembering. No, Marie worked at today's show. Look, I'm really bad at keeping track of notes from Crazed Researcher. So, you might see a bit of people holding on to it longer than they should have, repeatedly in this. But she did do a work at today's show, though. It's just she could return it. I just want to get the rest of the information on it, which just requires holding it for 3 minutes 30 seconds. Checking when melted down, it is behavioral adjustment. Today's show look again. Well, not again, it's the first time I melted down, but this is our second work with it today, just because the one we did with Marie. So I just have to give Bong Bong gain some justice. In general, I want to have the training people do the most training just because of the stat bonus. But I can't, and I can just move people to training with it when I want to train them. But it's not really that massive a change, like, it's not that big of a deal. It's partially I didn't hire anyone because training was full, but again, if you really wanted to have more people, you could. We're getting a new department soon anyway, so training won't be full for long. We've got all the information on It's from a Crazed researcher. And now it's time to start trying to letting out abnormalities on purpose. So we're basically just bullying them into having bad results. For some reason I decided to have a repression on Fragment of the Universe, even though repression has a decent chance of success. I don't know why. But repression on Void Dream is very bad. Normally. But again, since we're trying to break out Void Dream, it doesn't really matter. That's gonna be a bad work. We hit a half work, but it's, I mean, half the energy, but like usual, we're gonna stay a bit longer than that. Yumeka's been doing a lot better than I expected. Sometimes you get that like bad result in a single work with it, even if you're working Insight with it. It's one of the reasons those people don't want to work outside of meltdowns. Typically, it's not really the best for training, just because of its unavoidable instant kill if it can get a single bad, and its high stat or low stat floor. Yumeka almost had it go down to 0 there. She's only 1 away. So right now I want to get everyone who gets, I want to get a Void Dream fighty squad into information because I want to get Void Dream's fight done before the Dawn ordeal. And we have a limit, this is the last work we can do before Dawn ordeal starts. So I don't want to work anything else because I don't want to deal with the Dawn at the same time as fighting Void Dream, but unfortunately Little Effers did too good of a job working with it. Somehow managed to get good on Void Dream's worst result, so it did not break out. I guess it's the downside of having a facility so good at training temperance, is that it's hard for things to get let out even when you want them to. Or it's the stuff that's pretty easy to let out, or pretty hard to let out normally. Now I'm shuffling me over back to the original department so I can start the Dawn. Eke's weapon is just black damage, so they're not really a great source of damage in this because it resists black, so I just send them to do the work. Or at least I thought it resisted black. Apparently it is 1.0 times to black, my bad. V's the only reason to fight these because she can't die yet. The bad V, the good V can't die. Well, I mean she can, but would reset the day. It's happened before. Violet Dawn is a complete non-issue as long as you remember that they exist. And with that, we just have the noon ordeal left for ordeals of the day. It'll take it's gonna be a while before the Dawns get introduced. Right now the only ordeal that we haven't seen yet officially is the green noon, although they popped in once in a failed attempt at a day and slaughtered everyone. And by everyone I mean like one person. Which is enough to make a reset. Green Noon is the reason I've been so focused on getting red resistant armor, by the way. They're by far the greatest threat in the early game. We've just been like getting fairly lucky overall, I haven't been seeing them. Void Dream escapes. And if we hit Void Dream into its angry mode before it fires any of its instant sleep bullets, we don't have to worry about the instant panics at all. We just have to worry about its relatively low white damage to the whole room. So that's what we do. Again, B can't die yet, so I have her move to the hallway, just in case Void Dream would get over there, but it does not. And Void Dream is downed before it can crow twice. We've really outclassed it by this point. Bong Bong and Marie move back to training, because I just like to have people in their departments. I could have just hit the everyone to training department button, but I always forget it exists. I'm not great at the game. Yeah, it's a lie, I'm pretty good at the game. I'm still having Mr. Black repress Fragment of the Universe because I haven't realized it's not its best, and by best I mean worst work result. It's like its second best, actually. But I mean, getting more justice is never a bad thing, so it could work out, I guess. I feel it's not really that efficient to work at, like, I think it's level 2 or level 3 justice, whatever level he is with it. Eke has a pretty good temperance, so they can really work whatever, and they'll probably get most of the goods. I think they're the only...
I think it's capture them. I don't remember what happened to the last upload like 2 weeks ago. I'm having Goom work Prudence because it's his worst stat that can be easily trained over there. I want a better Justice trainer than today's Shy Look before I start training Goom's Justice up some more. I was like, what the heck, B can have a soda before she dies. It's my great gift to her. And the real B has barely done anything this entire day, but there's not really much for her to do. She has good stats except for Justice. I guess I could probably train on today's Shy Look. I'll do it later. I'm considering just having one part of Woodsman melt down. I'm like, nah. And I decide since Yumeko is doing too good at working with it, I'll just have Bong Bong work Prudence with it once, and that'll get it to instantly get into its low cool-off counter state. Because Clone B has to die while the taste of the delicious well cheers is still fresh in her mouth. I can't believe I screwed up that original copy of B so badly though. For one thing, I didn't notice I was selecting Mr. Black's back hair instead of the no back hair. And for another thing, I selected the wrong front hairs. Like, neither of her hair options is correct. It's just my amazing, what's the word? Observational skills. Right now is when I notice that Instinct is the lowest work, not Refreshment, so I send him to do Instinct instead. And I also send B to go die. And by B, I mean the Clone B. And I can finally stop having to refer to two characters with the same name. Now there's only one B, except for the other B's in the game. There's only two B's. More part of Woodsman does his instant kill as soon as anyone enters the room, so there's no way to save them as soon as they enter the room. Then it makes this fun little ticking noise that totally isn't really annoying in Library of Arena. Everyone except Yumeka goes in. Yumeka stays because she's weak to red. So it's kind of weird that it does red when it's breaching, but white in containment. I guess it's supposed to be like inert in containment, it's probably why it doesn't do red. It's a big combo attack does a lot of damage right now, so most of the people in information who are the first to group to arrive have to retreat. And even the training people were caught in that because it happened after they arrived, but we're fine. It doesn't have enough health to do it more than once. I like how the warning song just keeps playing until the threat level goes back down, even though it's clearly no threat. I mean, I'm fine with having the first warning play for longer, because I think it's better than normal day song. And if I understand how the way it works correctly, if Fragment breaks out right now, I'll just keep playing for even longer. So why not have Mr. Black go over there? Mr. Black could probably solo by this point. It's not really a threat anymore. It used to be the main character of this playthrough, but it's really been outclassed by, like, everything. And he just good normal, so tragically, we will not be having another immediate fight against an abnormality, and the song goes down. But it ends up breaking out anyway. But the song still doesn't come back. Even if we got a bad, the song wouldn't have continued. Sad. Fragment chilling. I really have no idea what the DPS is on Porcubus's weapon. I've just been kind of assuming it's good because you only get one copy of it. Although who knows, maybe it just sucks and the reason I get one copy is because I thought doing 2 damage types is overpowered. I don't know. It's HE anyway, so probably gonna have to use it. Well, I'd probably use it either way, even if it was one of the worst HE weapons. And with the suppression of Fragment of the Universe, all that's left is Punishing Bird. So just to keep working until it's unleashed. And that just means having people do random works until Punishing Bird decides to break out. unfortunately Punishing Bird broke out literally the same time as all the meltdowns, so I did not even notice the render the notification popping up for it. I don't know, I said render. Now I have to figure out a way to suppress Punishing Bird, and I'm missing like half of my workforce. So at first I was going to bring the fight into Training's main room, because he needed a big room to fight to the Punishing Bird trick in. And then I realized that it's too far away from that, because you only have a minute to kill it. So I moved everyone to that big non-main room in Control. So the trick to suppressing Punishing Bird is, you have someone hit it once. Very nervous about doing this trick, even though I practiced it. And then you just keep moving them between two exits of a room. As long as they can outrun Punishing Bird, they'll never get hit, and Punishing Bird can literally only hit the person it's angry at, and it'll only get angry at the first person to hit it. So everyone else in the room can hit Punishing Bird. My inelegant method of moving people did send like half the people out of the room now. And then because I was sending them back in, I didn't click them right over out. It's a bit of a mess. But now I've got the rhythm to it. This is why Punishing Bird's a tough, even though Grenade is going to kill it. So once you think a little bit outside the box, it's an easy with suppression. It's very easy to avoid instant kill compared to like higher tier abnormalities that can do stuff like that in combat. All the meltdowns are clear for a Void Dream, but I'm like, eh, whatever, end day. Green is gonna pop up, you know how it is.
And with that, the day's over. Pod's mission's done, and we've had some stat growths. A few. Bonk Bonk hit level 3 Prudence from like the one work with Mr. Man. That guy's hit from 2 to 4 and 2 to 3, and Prudence 2 to Yumeka hit Prudence 5, which is to be expected. She's working for a while with Mr. Man. That's gonna be a main job anyway. So now I guess I'll see what the... Oh wait, there's no reality choice, I'm dumb. Oh, but wait, there is, because I have a double bin safety, I am dumb. So you have DO154, DO2 107, and FO 244. What's the really pitiful is people like you that works likes of me. Dude, your little angel's gnawing our colleague's finger, and however, the curse continues eternally, never broken. All three of these are Teths, and basically they're all the same for our current facility. Just another more low-level training stuff, so not really a super interesting decision. All three of them are basically the same thing, equally good in my opinion. We've rolled a 2, so we'll get our first, I think this is our first one that was added by a donator. That's why it has a D in a circle instead of a square. You can disable all the donator added ones. Or Kickstarter backer, we're gonna call it. Tumblebug backer. Let's take it. And now it is time for Notebook Lore. The old notes are full of incomprehensible cursive letters and writings. They once belonged to a researcher who had gone mad during their work. It's only been partially deciphered, but it seems most fit relates to various experiments that were conducted in this place. It begins with guilt and confessions of unethical experimentation, but gradually spirals into madness, overrun with insane and broken up sentences about research towards the end. The final chapter ends with the phrase, "born again." One's observational skill will improve just by holding this item. However, if it is returned without fulfilling the yearning for knowledge, the incompetent shall explode. What a beautiful story.